Yo, yo, it's episode 17 of Bonfire Man.
Here's how Bonfire Man works. I'm locked to specific chunks in the game. I have to interact with everything in my unlocked chunks exactly once. So that means every tree needs to be chopped, every enemy needs to die, every resource needs to be consumed. When I interact with something, it is exhausted. When something is exhausted, that means I'm not allowed to interact with it again. I'm allowed to randomly unlock a new chunk whenever all of the entities in my current chunks have been so exhausted. When I enter a new chunk, I rest at a bonfire, as in the Souls games. Resting at a bonfire refreshes or unexhausts all of the content in previous chunks that I've already been to. Now I have to exhaust all entities in both the old and new chunks to continue to progress. My objective is to unlock every chunk in RuneScape. According to my estimates, I think that's going to take about 10,000 hours to complete. If you're interested in all the specifics, minutiae, minor rules, exceptions, that kind of a thing, there's a Google Doc in the description that lists all of that. Let's go ahead and get to the playthrough.
Okay, so today we rolled a somewhat boring chunk, but in doing some research, it's actually a little bit less boring than I thought it was because there are 8 limestone rocks there. So who cares, right? Who cares about limestone? I do, because you could use it for some construction training, and I'm going to start mining that every single cycle from now on, even if we eventually complete this. Although we're not going to complete this for a really long time, because Rag and Bone Man 1 and 2, that might be the very end of the account that we get to do anything like it. So while I head over there, I'm going to go ahead and bring my pickaxe in addition to an axe, so I can just kind of finish the chunk. I think we're going to roll 2 chunks today, since even with the limestone, there's not terribly much over there. The main reason I was excited about it is because it gets us closer to Paterdomus and Mauritania. But let's go ahead and get things together and light the bonfire. I mentioned this last episode, but I need to get to the Lumbridge Swamp Caves as soon as possible. I'm like 7 XP away from an agility level up, and I'd really like to get it before I get an XP random. All right, we're here at the chunk boundary. Let's go ahead and cross the fog wall. Excellent. And light the bonfire. And we just hit fire, making 25. And of course, let's rest at it. Very good. Okay, so one thing I want to check before we fully explore this chunk, I'm very nervous about this. I think there are 2 tiles of wilderness up here. Oh, I might be saved by this fence. This fence might be saving my life here. Oh, thank God. Okay. Yeah. So, the chunk picker automatically wants me to be able to unlock this chunk here, right in front of me. Because technically the ditch extends like 3 tiles into it. So I think I do, unfortunately, have to include that as a legal chunk, even though there's basically nothing there but some trees once I roll this chunk. But because I haven't rolled this chunk, I can't actually get over there to the ditch. It's just barely out of range, thank God. So this does not have to be a rollable chunk for next episode.
Hey, real quick, it's Future Marstead. That chunk isn't as big of a deal as I made it out to be because there's nothing new in there. If we roll it, we have to go in and cut all the trees, but we don't have to light a bonfire.
It's really going to suck. Like, I'm basically going to have to deal with all of these chunks that are effectively empty along the bottom of the wilderness. They're all little ticking time bombs. All right, so first things first, we got to kill 13 bats, which all they drop are bat bones, but I think you need bat bones for a handful of quests, none of which I'm going to get close to anytime soon. But hey, it's nice to have a new item in the bank. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to chop the trees, and we'll do the limestone. I can technically start and do most of Rag and Bone Man, but because I don't have access to monkeys, I think that's the one bone I can't get for him. I can't finish it, so I'm not going to bother. I'm here at the piles of rocks. I'm going to go ahead and mine them now. I have never in a million years mined for limestone. You just go buy a bunch of it from the Shades of Morton guy, right? So this is pretty cool. I think this is another pitch for the Bonfire Man account. The fact that these are here matters a lot to me. Okay, all the trees have been chopped. This is the last bat, so we're done. That Did not take terribly much time. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna roll another chunk this episode. So now we got to go back and do all the past chunks. I guess I'm gonna get started on that. I do have a chisel, so I'm gonna make these limestone bricks. I think I have to do them all manually. Yeah, it looks like it. Oh, I didn't realize you could screw it up. That's interesting that I got 2 rocks. Oh, I guess you get 2 rocks for each time you make a mistake. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I'm going to try to do some construction training real quick before I head down to the Lumbridge Swamp Cave, just so I can get my home teleport ticking. So I got to calculate what all I'm bringing. I should show you the spreadsheet I made for that. Let me see if I can get it pulled up. Yeah, so here's what the spreadsheet looks like. Basically, I figured out the GP and XP values for all of the materials I have access to, calculated how much GP I have to spend per XP, and then made a little table out of it. These are all the items that I'm able to make, and I have like a cycle column there to keep track of whether I've actually made that thing in the cycle. So I'm just going to use that off screen. I'm guessing you don't need to see that every single time. And I'm going to use it to calculate what items I'm even going to bother making. For example, anything that requires cloth is utterly not worth doing because the GP per XP is insanely high. We want that to be pretty low, probably lower than 10. Okay, so filtering everything down to remove items I don't have access to and to only look at things with a GP per XP score lower than 10. This is basically everything that I'm allowed to make per cycle that's realistic-ish for me to make per cycle. So the total amount of XP I could theoretically get is like 3,001, which is not very much. And it's going to require multiple teleports, and eventually I'm going to run out of runes for teleporting, but I'm going to try to get as much construction XP as possible here. Alright, back in the POH, here's my inventory. I'm going to craft what I can here from my list. Alright, just hit construction 15 from building a crude wooden chair and a regular wooden chair. I can build a workshop now. Oh, it's expensive. Oof. Alright, well, glad we have the Giant's Foundry. I have to stop spending money on construction for a little bit. Damn. Workbench, I guess. Let's see. I don't think I have the levels to make anything in here. Maybe the repair bench, which isn't super helpful to me right now. Oh, it requires oak planks. Well, now I can do things with oak planks, so that's cool. This whetstone's actually kind of interesting. You can use that to repair rusty swords without needing to bring them to the NPC that repairs rusty swords. I think the regular repair bench only lets you do broken arrows and staves, which are basically useless. But rusty swords, I guess it's... Well, no, there's a chance that rusty swords can be long swords, and long swords are worth bars in the Giant's Foundry. So, again, content that matters. I get a ton of rusty swords from ham guards and maybe from pickpocketing ham members. Let me see if I can summarize how many of them I have for you. I can also just show you my bank, but yeah, it's like 16 of them. So if there's a, looks like there's a somewhat reasonable chance of me, say, getting steel or mithril longswords. I could totally use those at Giant's Foundry. This whetstone is actually going to matter. I think 35 is the first construction level threshold that I care about. That's incredible. Okay, so this is why it was good to build a second garden, because I can make an imp statue here for 5 limestone bricks and 5 soft clay. It's just going to use up all the limestone I get every cycle, but it's a decent amount of XP, 150 XP. I think that's 100 for the 5 limestone bricks and 50 for the 5 clay. All right, this is the last thing I can make with this inventory, and it was enough to get us to 16 construction. I can now make a crafting table 1, a pluming stand, and an oak wall decoration. Right, yeah, so I have the cycle column here. I just put whatever cycle number I'm working on if I've already crafted one. So once I've already crafted it, I'll just filter it out. That way I can see what's still available for me to make. I'm not going to show you that every episode, just trust that that's happening behind the scenes so I can keep track that I've only built one of each item. As a sanity check, you can see how much XP I got, and that should be able to confirm I shouldn't get more than what's listed in the XP column. All right, so since it really matters whether I roll a 3 here, I'm going to record these jumps. Oh, I got one. Okay, I think that means I'm definitely going to get to level 3. That's very exciting. So I get to do this one twice. Oh, I got another one. Amazing. And then that one I get to do a few times the one in the back, as I fight the giant frog. But yeah, we're going to get agility 3 here. This is outstanding. Guaranteed to get level 3 agility here. even if we fall, which we did. Agility level 3. God, I love that fanfare. 7 more to go. It should get a little bit easier with the random events now. I think they're going to give quite a bit more XP now. I get 45 XP from a dunce random and 30 XP from a genie random. So yeah, it's only a few randoms now per agility level, which is pretty nice. Huge drop from one of these giant frogs. 9 nature runes. Makes up for the 9 nature runes I wasted. Well, it doesn't, because if I hadn't wasted them, I'd have another 9. Making those steel bars with superheat item. It's still very good though. That's gonna help us do Giant's Foundry more frequently. I might try to grind out crafting today, or this episode at least. I might have enough cowhides this cycle to be able to hit 34, which would let me make ruby rings, which kind of removes the nature rune problem entirely. Hit points 50. Good level. We're at combat 56. Got a 4 nature rune drop from big frogs. Looking pretty good. I got a 3rd empty candle lantern, so I now have 3 of those if I ever wanted to make this place as bright as possible. Usually Groat's Farm is one of the last things I do in the chunk because it involves so much walking back and forth, but I actually want to see if I can squeeze out 34 crafting, so I'm going to go just do the cows really quick and then pop over to Al Kharid and see how far I can grind crafting out. Alright, my teleport home cooldown is up, so I'm going to go ahead and teleport to house again. This is my last teletab. Do some more construction training. Well, if you were looking at my sheet earlier and you were wondering why I assigned a high GP value to steel bars and iron bars, I basically took the average money I get from Giant's Foundry contracts and divided it by 28 bars to get that number. So I think it just means that it's better for me to use those for GP for now, rather than using them in construction. Be about to hit 17 construction, yeah. Can now make a wooden workbench and a fire pit with pot. I'm still working on these cows, but I'm going to go do another round of construction because I've got my cooldown back. So I'm casting teleport to house. Here's my first ever use of oak planks. Construction 18. It's got construction 19 from the pluming stand, crafting table 1. I think we're done with this room for now. Wasn't able to talk when I finished up my construction run, but I ended up getting a 19 construction, almost a 20. Gonna have to try to do some more Giant's Foundry to get enough money to unlock the bedroom for a few more nodes. All right, I just finished tanning all that leather. Now we're gonna see how far that takes us. Hopefully I have enough thread. I think I do, but thread is concerning. Level 30 crafting. Emerald bracelets. Here's 31 crafting. Emerald amulets, which I don't think I'm going to bother with. I'm going to try to save a couple leathers just in case we get clue scrolls that take me to Charlie the Tramp. 32 crafting. Spiked vambraces and red topaz necklaces. I guess I'm going to do tiaras with my silver. I'd rather do silver bolts since I also get some fletching XP out of it, but I think I want to have enough of these that I can always fund talismans. And I guess maybe this is a way to squeeze out a little bit more crafting XP. I can go mine all the silver from this cycle. Alright, here's 33 crafting. I need one more level. I'm gonna go ahead and get all my mining for the chunk out of the way. So I might get enough silver to finish getting to 34 without having to make jewelry that I don't want, which is what I'm trying to avoid here. Mining 33. Here's 43 smithing, which is nothing, I guess. Okay, I'm out of things to use to level crafting other than wool, so I have to make a bunch of balls of wool for an absolutely miserable XP rate. I don't even know if I have enough to get there, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Oh, I might actually be rescued by crossbow strings, of all things. I think I can take my beef downstairs and try to turn it into sinew directly, and then use that to make crossbow strings. That's like 15 crafting XP a piece, as opposed to 3. Maybe that will help, we'll see. This is actually a pretty good source of crafting XP. It's not good at all, but it's good for me. I might need to turn all of my beef and bear meat into sinew, rather than making food with it. I've already made some food, unfortunately. I guess I need to do that to get my crafting level up higher, but I think from now on, I'm only going to make crossbow strings, because that's not bad, actually. I don't have a lot of access to crafting XP. There's 34 crafting. We're able to squeeze it out, care of crossbow strings. I can now cut rubies and make ruby rings. I'm going to go do that. All right, so for now, I only get 2 rings of forging. I think I can up that to 4 if I telegrab 2 more. A gold ore and a gold bar from the Varrock West Bank this cycle. I really got to get in the habit of doing that more often. I'm not 100% sure how far that's going to take me here. Ruby ring. It is finished, okay. Level 3 enchant. I guess those are required for a clue, that's nice. Am I allowed to check how many charges this has? Okay, well, it's equipped. Oh, for some reason, so I don't think I ever use Rings of Forging on my main account. I was like, oh, it's got to be like 8 pieces of iron. No, it's 140 pieces of iron. Okay, so this isn't gonna last me a while. I don't need to stress out about making a million of these, I guess. So I need to start figuring out the math on how many iron bars I want to make. Steel is going to be way harder for me to get from this point forward because I'm so limited on how much coal I have. So I think I'm primarily going to be doing bronze iron alloys at the Giant's Foundry and trying to save a little bit of iron bars on the side for combining with steel whenever I build up enough of it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make iron bars out of all of my iron, but leave enough iron ore in the bank to make up to 14 steel bars. All right, and that leaves me with 56 iron bars and 44 bronze bars. So I should be able to do 3 bronze iron alloys at the Giant's Foundry. I'm going to head over in that direction to start doing that. Excited about having Rings of Forging. It took us a lot of work to get there. We may have been able to hit 34 a little bit earlier if I had noticed Sinew. It doesn't show up in my banked XP tracker because I guess nobody uses crossbow strings to train crafting. Over here at Giant's Foundry, I need to decide whether these smithing catalysts are worth it because they reduce the amount of coal I need. Which means I could make quite a bit more steel, but they're also somewhat expensive in terms of reputation. I also don't know yet if I'm going to buy any of these other molds or if I'm just going to try to save for the Colossal Blade. Still pretty blown away at the quality of this. 7620 coins for bronze and iron. I kind of got an unlucky commission that time. All right, this is more like it. This is like +8 quality or something. Yeah, it's quite a bit more GP and XP. Light spiked. I don't know if I've done that before. Smithing 44. Ooh, really bad reward on this one. Just did not have a good combination for the mold. That puts us at 45 smithing. We can now smelt Lovakite ore. Qualify for Swan Song, although we're not going to be anywhere near Swan Song for an extremely long time. Decent money, though. So this is a little interesting. The chunk picker is wrong about hill giants, and so is the wiki. And it's because they actually changed one of the 8 hill giant spawns into Kovac outside, which is why he has the strike option instead of the attack option. I may have accidentally killed 8 my first round. Like I may have assumed that I made a mistake and killed 2. But I know I killed 7 last cycle, and I'm like, there's got to be an 8th one. And you look up the spawn locations on the wiki, and it shows one over here, which would have been Kovac. So that's kind of cool that they just made Kovac one of these hill giants that was already here. All right, thing I'd like to do now is runecraft. So I'm going to go do water and mist runes. Runecraft level 9 from the water runes. That's enough to do earth runes, which is exciting. Oh, I brought rune essence to make the mist runes. I forgot you need pure essence for that. I'm walking over to replace them. It's level 10 runecraft. Make dust runes, which is good. We now qualify for Temple of the Eye. I just need to get access to the Abyss, but we have the right stats for it. I need to be more careful about using my pure essence. I think I misused pure essence on just making the water runes, and I shouldn't do that. Just got an exam random. It's going on agility. 45 agility XP, very nice. Theoretically, I only need 1 more of those if I get a little bit more XP there next cycle. Alright, here's my first ever time crafting earth runes, which is apparently an easy task. Runecraft 11, which will help us whenever we get the air altar forever from now. I'm going to try to do dust runes, and then I think we're going to start working on chopping trees. don't think I've ever done combination runes without magic imbue in my main, so I didn't appreciate that it actually uses up your talisman. So it's good that I'm killing many goblins every cycle, because I need those air talismans for combination runes. I'm going to run out of them eventually, but first time doing dust runes. Runecraft level 12, which is inconsequential. In the middle of a 3-step beginner clue. I'm going to build a beginner stash while I'm here. All right. Stash built. Nice. Got the casket. Let's get our garbage. 23 earth runes. 45 attack. Stopped doing construction training this episode because I ran out of oak planks. I'm just going to make a full inventory here. Hopefully that lasts me a little bit. 59 wood cutting, 1 more to go, and everything changes when we get access to use, finally. Let's just close out a couple chunks. Okay, finally finished chopping all the trees with the light split timer. We're at about 5 hours, 42 minutes to do everything else in these 21 chunks. I'm gonna get to work. Just killed the lesser demon. No drop. Just kind of touring the game world here, killing stuff. Every time I get a clue scroll, that sends me somewhere totally different, so I try to just resume killing where I am. Whoops, popped down here to kill the ham guard since I was already in gear for it, and misclicked a member. So I'm now thieving 25. Pickpocket warriors, steal from fruit stalls, and enter the spring garden, which I actually forgot that was part of getting to 25 thieving. That's going to be pretty big for getting more farming XP every cycle. I haven't started pickpocketing at all this cycle, so it's fine. Ham guards are all finished. Since I accidentally pickpocketed one, I'm just going to try to finish pickpocketing while I'm here so I don't have to come back. About to head back to pickpocket, but since I'm near Lumbridge anyway, I figured I would go build a beginner stash over here, which should ding me to 20 construction, and then go to my POH and finish doing up construction tasks for this cycle, because then I'll just home teleport right back and go do my pickpocketing. Got the ham outfit on because I think it reduces the chance of you getting kicked out. There's a beginner stash built. Level 20 construction. I can now build a bedroom. Wooden bed and a shoebox. Oof. Bedroom's another nasty 10k coins, but I guess I can technically afford it. Go ahead and build that. I can hire servants now, but I'd have to get to Arduin first, and I don't think that's happening anytime soon. But a servant would make a pretty big difference of how many times I can train per cycle. Oh, I didn't realize I'm not allowed to build an oak wall decoration until I make it to Falador. Well, that sucks. That's way less XP. It's like 2 oak planks that I can't use. Do an oak chair, though. That's the last thing I can do. All right, I think I've basically built everything that I can build that I have the resources for. I'm running out of soft clay. Need to kind of be careful about that. But yeah, based on my spreadsheet tracker here, the only things that I could build that are worth the GP investment are, arguably worth the GP investment, are a decorative rock, a pond, which uses 10 soft clay that I probably don't actually have, and I guess the oak wall decoration that I technically don't qualify for. I'm going to put that as NA so I can keep track of that for the future. Okay, that's all the construction training we're doing for this cycle. 2,672 XP. It's actually not too bad, although I don't think I'm going to be able to keep that up, so I'm going to start running out of supplies for things that don't require regular planks and oak planks. And I'm definitely going to start running out of runes to keep this up. Getting kicked out is so frustrating. I only need like 3 more pickpockets. Would you believe I died on the last one that I had to pickpocket? Oh, I got free agility restore. I actually don't die too often anymore. Those earlier cycles, I was dying repeatedly every single cycle, but it kind of feels novel, actually. Attack 46, 1 more level, and I'm going to switch to defense until defense 40, and then we'll go back to strength. So my objective is to have attack be 7 levels behind strength, defense be 14 levels behind strength, and only ever switch off strength when doing so won't cause me to lose a max hit. But to pickpocket my first ever Al-Kharid warrior, and of course I got caught. Try again. Painful. There we go, 26 XP and 18 GP? That's not too bad. Here comes 26 thieving. Yeah, it's not a significant level, but 27 is, because then we can steal from the seed stall in Draenor, which I can only do once per cycle, but might actually get us some hop seeds. I added the tasks on the side here. I'm actually not sure if I can get 3 herbs in each garden. I'm not sure which of them are technically accessible or not, but I suppose we'll find out. I'm gonna go do the spring garden now. All right, here's my first ever spring squirk. 40 farming XP, pretty good. All right, and I think getting the herbs is actually gonna suck really bad. I think it's a lot harder in this garden than it was in the winter garden, but we're gonna go do it. Oh, it's so cruel. I can actually only get to 1 of the herbs in the spring garden, just the way they laid it out. I can't fit, there's technically... that sucks. There's technically 5 here, but I can only pick 1 of them, so I'll update my task list here. I'm about to hit level 18 farming off this herb here. It's pretty good farming XP compared to what I was getting before. Level 18 is nothing. Great. I need to buy some more runes for moss giants here. I'm running pretty low, so gotta start being careful because the shop stock I have available to buy is starting to shrink. Here's 47 attack. Maybe. There it is. 47 attack. I'm gonna switch to defense now until 40. If you're wondering, yes, I do still remember to get to this stupid tree. I wish there weren't any trees down in the sewers. Defense 31. It's fun to be getting fast combat level ups again. Not for long, though. Alright, first time pickpocketing warrior women. I think they're exactly the same as Al-Kharid warriors. I think they're tracked the same in the loot tracker, yeah. Here comes 32 defense in a second. There it is. Okay, I'm at the end of this cycle. Live split timer, I'll try to remember to pause it this time. 9:56:12, I did quite a bit better than the last cycle. I'm going to review everything here, so if you want to skip to the junk roll, there should be a timestamp for it. I'm just going to click through these silently. Just doing my little sanity check to make sure that I actually did do everything. I need to fix this, by the way. This should say farmer. It's because I have a Control F when I switch to the emojis. Okay, that all looks good to me. Loot for today. Scrolling through slowly. Nothing particularly amazing from loot today. Some more nature rune drops, I think is probably the most exciting thing. XP gains, looking pretty good, almost 100k. It looks like we might not get 60 woodcutting next cycle. I don't think we will, because we only got 20k this cycle. I guess it depends what chunk we roll, if there's an extra 4k buried in there somewhere. Agility, looking pretty good. 54 XP to go. Hopefully I can get that down to 45, so if we get another dunce random, it'll just ding us to 4. No particularly amazing thresholds coming up other than 60 wood cutting for use will let me skip a lot of wood cutting in like the ham chunk, for example. And we're going to get protect from magic pretty soon too. Current time played 6 days, 2 hours. Slow going. Supplies used. Go ahead and reset this now. Random event history. And let's look at the bank. New stuff today, limestone bricks. Pretty exciting that we can get those. Good timing on it too. Bat bones, I ended up having to bury most of those because I didn't have inventory space for the logs I was trying to chop at the same time. Zombie random, forester random. My rings of forging, which are going to last quite a bit longer than I was expecting. Dust runes, spring squirk, and then the Avantoe is from the spring garden, which unfortunately only has one herb patch that's able to be reached. Here's the whole bank. And I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and roll a new chunk. Okay, here we are on the chunk roller. We are going to keep this chunk in this episode just because there wasn't very much to do in Silvarea. No really new comments here other than that rolling Paterdomus would be great, so I put that as a bronze heart, about the same as Edgeville. Don't forget the ruins of Unka are down here too. So I'd really like to get Stronghold of Security. I'd also take Edgeville or Paterdomus, and second highest would be Ruins of Unka here for fishing and mining and all the other stuff that's down there. So yeah, let's roll the chunk here. Come on, big money. I like this fancy roller. I'm glad they added it. Hey, it's Barbarian Village. I got it. Okay, I guess that makes up for getting kind of a boring chunk this last time. Right, so I might regret putting this as a crown the more I've been thinking about it. There's a bunch of barbarians here. Do some quests I can do. Below Ice Mountain. Okay, no, I don't start here. Gotcha. It's a helmet shop, which might be interesting. A ton of trees, as usual. But it's going to be the Stronghold of Security that matters. Now, this says the Edgeville Dungeons here, but I think that that's the one you need the key for that I don't have, so Stronghold's the actual one. This is concerning, but exciting at the same time. This is a lot of things to kill. It's probably going to take me hours to do everything in the Stronghold of Security. I'm hoping, I believe that I should be able to do everything. If there's anything in there that for some reason I can't do, if it requires like a skill that I don't have, then doing this every single cycle is going to be a nightmare. But if I can mark the Stronghold of Security complete and then choose what I want to farm on future cycles, that would be really nice. So yeah, this is exciting stuff. I gotta take time as usual to get everything set up for the next chunk, so I'll be back in a few seconds from your perspective. All right, everybody. This episode might be really long because I looked at what's actually in the Stronghold of Security, and it's gonna take a minute, but let's go over there and light the bonfire. All right, here we are at the chunk border. Let's cross the fog wall. Very nice, and let's light a bonfire.
And let's go ahead and rest at the bonfire. You saw nothing.
I like that we're getting the music track unlocks now for most of the time we enter new chunks. I wasn't because of it being on the old music unlock method when I first started, but should be pretty good evidence that I haven't accidentally dipped into this chunk before if you see that pop up when I go to light the bonfire. Right, so we're here now. Barbarian Village proper is extremely reasonable. There are a lot of trees to cut. And I'm not going to be able to consider this chunk complete until I'm able to fish those trout, which I still need a fishing rod for. The Stronghold of Security is a little bit scarier. I actually need to add another task here based on something I found while researching. I'll talk about this a little bit later when we get to it, but apparently there is a special zombie in the Stronghold of Security that's extremely high level and has a very bizarre drop table. I guess it used to be a prayer training random event that would occasionally pop up. It drops like dragon bones and like between 1 and 10 big bones. It has like a 50 chaos rune drop. It's almost borderline a boss for me as a Bonfire Man. But there's a lot of stuff down here. I'd like to try to kill all of it in this cycle, which means that this cycle is likely going to take many hours. If If I can mark it complete, then I can choose what I want to kill on future runs down there. Now, unfortunately, that's going to include all of the critters. So the ghosts, the rats, the spiders, and the giant spiders. So I probably want to wait to kill the critters until I can actually confirm I can kill everything else. It's probably going to be pretty dependent on safe spotting and corpse rushing, because some of these enemies, especially on the final floor, are pretty nasty. And I still don't have protect from melee, which I think is what I'd need to be able to do it completely safely. So we're going to do our best, but let me start by just kind of exploring Barbarian Village proper here. One thing that's nice is I have access to all this coal now, so I'm going to try to get this mining out of the way. Alright, so we do have access to this helmet shop now. I'm probably going to end up buying out the stock of bronze, iron, and steel full helms to bring to the Giant's Foundry. The Addy full helm would be my new best in slot helmet, although the adamant med helm does drop in the Stronghold of Security, so I might just want to get that since this is pretty expensive and I don't really need it at the moment. I guess 3,500 coins isn't too bad, but we'll see. If I have excess money later on, I might pick that up. Item spawns here aren't terribly exciting. Some beers, some cooked meats, bronze pickaxe, pot, which I grabbed. We can also technically start using pottery, which I was looking forward to. I'm like, oh, I'm going to use all this clay that I don't need to make bowls. But I think I need clay now for construction training, so I will not be doing that. Gunther the Brave is a unique targetable NPC, so let's go ahead and kill him here. Looking at the Barbarian drops here, they do roll the rare drop table, so that's cool. Most of their rare drops are pretty boring. Cooked meat, amulet mold. Decent number of coins. The Law Rune drop would be nice, but it's a little bit too rare to depend on. Bronze Battle Axe I would take to Giant's Foundry, so get to work on these. Gunther done. 34 defense. Switching back to strength in about 6 levels. Oof. Speaking of music tracks unlocking and it proving that I didn't dip into a chunk, I noticed I just unlocked Dwarf Theme. It's because I was over here and I tried to path on this side and my character ran through the chunk here, which caused Dwarf Theme to unlock. That's unfortunate. Yeah, the issue is you can't path past this tree, I guess. If you click here, you automatically go around, and that's what caused it to go. Bummer. Finished killing the barbarians and the unicorns. Nothing super interesting from the barbarians here. You go take out the goblins, and then I'm going to come back with a knife so I can cut all these trees in one go. I do have access to this canoe, and I will almost certainly be using it to get around here. I'm likely going to end up with a skull scepter with a ton of charges on it, depending on how many enemies I kill every cycle. Unfortunately, that would be really nice if I had Edgeville unlocked, because I could pop up to the Edgeville Bank, which is extremely close to that teleport. But in the meantime, I guess I could always go to West Varrock or take the canoe down. I don't know if any other players have really noticed this before, but like there's so many dead trees in the game that Jagex places haphazardly in such a way that it's impossible to click one without removing the other. And it weirdly continues to show the outline after chopping them. Most of them are in that Mistle and Mystery chunk, but... Alright, that about does it for Barbarian Village. That was about 30 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this complete. I'm going to go bank, and then we're going to set up to explore the Stronghold of Security. I think what I want to do first is just clear it. Just like run through it really quick to get the 10,000 coins. And it'll make it easier for us to go through it a little bit more systematically and kill everything. I think that the majority of these enemies are going to be fine. They might require a few trips or require me to bring some food, but there's a handful of really high-level ones, like that one zombie and some of the higher-level shades, for example, that are going to be problematic, so I might need to figure out a safe spotting solution for a good chunk of these. Alright, starting up Stronghold of Security. Just going to run through it. I'm sure you've seen YouTubers do this a million times, so... another mime show, random. Stop, mysterious old man, for the love of God. Give me the maze, please. Well, at least I get 500 coins from mime randoms now. Right, so this solitary zombie here is special, and I had no idea. I looked up the wiki on this guy. Look at this drop table. He's got a 1 in 5 cosmic rune drop, 40 air runes, 35, I guess this actually goes up to 50 chaos runes. He has a chance to drop between 1 and 3 dragon bones. And of course, he rolls a rare drop table. Very strange enemy. He is combat level 159, so I'm going to have to figure out how to safe spot him. We're not going to be fighting him or these shades legitimately, I don't think. See, a lot of this floor is going to be a little dangerous. Little 68 skeletons, 77 ghosts. I might not actually be able to clear this chunk for some time, which means I'm going to have to kill a lot of the enemies that I am able to kill. We'll see. Alright, here's the end of the Stronghold of Security. Definitely going to take the fancy boots. Amazing. Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and leave. I'm going to mark this place done. I put that as a mini game, as, you know, actually complete the Stronghold of Security. And we have to figure out how we're going to deal with all these enemies. I think the first couple floors I should be able to handle. Very concerned about the later floors, though. Getting started on the first floor here. I'm not going to kill critter-type enemies at the moment because I'm not sure I'm going to be able to complete the chunk. So I'm just going to focus on anything that's not a critter. 35 defense. 5 to go. Oh, wait, the rats here drop bones. I'll have to reclassify them. I guess they're not critters. That's interesting. Yeah, I just checked the wiki. I guess this is the only place in the game where rats drop bones. In that case, I'll kill these ones. They'll get added to the loot tracker. Alright, here comes 37 Prayer. Finally get Protect from Magic. Which I can't really use on anything at the moment. I guess the Dark Wizards, I may as well use it on them, but 43 is going to be really important. I guess once we hit 43 Prayer, we're definitely going to be able to do this entire stronghold. I can just flick Protect Melee and everything, no problem. But that's a very long ways off right now. Even with all my banked bones, at best I would hit 38 if I used all of them. 15 Noted Pure Essence from a Minotaur. That's kind of an interesting drop. I'm looking at their table over here. They also drop Noted Copper and Tin Ore, and they rolled a rare drop table. It's funny how many enemies have ensouled heads that nobody fights, like bears and minotaurs. Like, if we ever make it to Korend, I'm going to have so many ensouled heads. 51 hit points. 36 defense. There. Oh god, I still need one more hit. There it is, 36 defense. Just got a right skull half, and I'm up to 4 bronze full helms, which is really nice. If I'm killing these guys every cycle, that's a lot of bronze bars for Giant's Foundry. 37 defense, just flying by. These rats dropping bones, it's pretty good prayer training. They always die in one hit. I guess sometimes they require 2, but they only have 2 hit points, and they all drop regular bones, which is pretty strong. We'll see, I'm going to have to do this every cycle if I can't finish the Stronghold of Security, which is, I'm increasingly worried is going to be the case, that I'm not going to have enough resources to safe spot them even if I try to do that. I can try flinching everything, but I have to find spots to flinch, which isn't necessarily going to be the case for every single enemy. Okay, I finally completed one creature down here. It's taken a while. We're about an hour and a half into the chunk total so far. I've killed 39 Minotaurs, which is all the Minotaurs that are down here. Decent drops. 6 bronze full helms is pretty exciting. That's a good chunk of the way towards being able to make a bronze alloy at the Giant's Foundry. I really like that the Giant's Foundry makes me care about drops like that. That would usually be garbage. I might even like just leave it on the ground under normal circumstances. So I'm going to mark Minotaurs complete. We're going to keep working on the goblins and rats and wolves on this floor. Alright, I just killed my last wolf. The goblins are all done, and I double-checked the counts for rats. It looks like we're done with all the rats. So the war floor is complete. About an hour, 28 minutes in on the life split timer. Oof, the zombies down here are level 30, which is a higher level than the ham guards, and they're the plain zombies, so all they drop are bones. This is gonna be miserable. Oh wait, maybe they're not. Maybe they're not all that way. One of them just dropped coins. Well, that's promising. Flesh crawlers have a 42 fire rune drop. That's pretty cool. So I have such limited access to those right now. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need to use fungibility in this place. Like, just the layout of the place is so annoying, and it's all single combat, and everything aggroes you. There's 38 defense. The level 53 zombies are really giving me trouble, so that probably is not a good sign of what everything else is going to look like when I get further down with the even higher level enemies here. Getting ready to untag it. The likelihood that it kills me here before I can kill it. Wow, I just got a kebab from the dwarf random event, and it killed me for 20. I didn't realize that was possible. I needed it really badly. So I had mentioned not wanting to spend money on the adamant full helm, but I think I might need to back up on that. I think I need to get my defense as high as possible so that I can survive down here for as long as I can. Running back is going to be annoying even with the canoe. So we'll buy an anti-full helm, and I think I can buy a body upgrade and maybe a pants upgrade from the shops in Al Kharid and Varrock. And I'm dead. Unmark this guy. Alright, first I'm doing a dugout canoe. I think I need that to move 2 stops here. This canoe is definitely critical to my account, which is great. I wish I could like store an axe next to it or something. Just past defense 39, but it is chaos over here. Alright, so just to track what I'm buying, we're going to get a mithril plate body here. It's an upgrade, looks nice. I'm going to head over to Al Kharid to get some plate legs. Add that to my shop tracker. Buying adamant plate legs here. Looking amazing. And we'll get the helmet from Barbarian Village proper. I might actually swing over and just try to get a cheeky kill in on the Lesser Demon at the Wizard's Tower just to see if I get a Rune Med Helm. It's like a 1 in 128, so probably won't happen, but save me some money if it does. 40 coins, no drop. All right, head back to the stronghold now. And buying an adamant full helm. There we go. Gonna be broke here soon, but this is what we look like now. Amazing. I love looking like a weirdo in this game. This new gear setup is way better. I mean, I'm still taking a decent amount of damage, but the defense is noticeable. Just hit 40 defense, but it was while I was trying to escape from being aggroed in this room. Switching back to strength now until we get a max hit. Okay, I've killed all the zombies and the flesh crawlers. There's technically 26 flesh crawlers here, but one of them I killed didn't drop anything, so it doesn't show in the tracker there. I have to track down a handful of regular rats and giant rats that I haven't killed yet. Okay, everything's dead on the first 2 floors. Now it's going to get pretty nasty as we go down to floor 3. I might need to switch combat styles soon and just try to start safe spotting things, I think. For what it's worth, we are over 3 hours into this. Actually, accidentally killed one of these giant spiders when I was passing through earlier and confirmed that they don't have drops here in the Stronghold of Security. So they still count as critters, so I'm going to try to avoid killing them unless I'm able to do everything else. Alright, time to go against these catablepins. Let's see how this goes. These guys dropped the Adamant Med Helm, which isn't that big of a deal since I got the Adamant Full Helm. I also dropped some seeds pretty rarely. Essence. Unlit Torch maybe is interesting. Drop the Scepter piece too. I'm gonna kill this spider since it aggroed me. Basically out of cooked food, I'm gonna have to do some cooking here before I head back in. All right, my crafting level is low enough that I'm burning some potatoes, so I'm gonna try to train it up on meat. I don't want to use any of my beef though, or any of my bear meat, because I'm gonna use that for sinew for crafting training. Instead, I'm just gonna make all my rat meat. So I'm gonna teleport back to Lumbridge here in a sec. 33 cooking. I don't know how far I'm gonna take this. I guess I'll cook all my rat meat. I don't have any reason not to. These are nice for topping off health while I'm at the bank. Cooking 34. 35 cooking. I guess I can technically make wines now. I do get occasionally grape drops from goblins, and there's a spawn at the cooking guild that I get once per cycle. The fill rate's going to be really high though, so If I make any kind of fancy food, it's going to be stews, which I can make using cooked meat and raw potatoes. But I'm going to try to wait until I'm as high level as possible before I mess with that. 36 cooking. 37 cooking. Cooking 38. Probably as far as I'm going to be able to go. Alright, so I finished cooking all my rat meat and all of my chickens. I'm going to cook potatoes until I have as many raw potatoes as I have cooked meat and cooked chickens, just to try to squeeze out a couple more levels here. Cooking 39. I only get to use these bowls I've been saving up from cycle to cycle here. Probably going to burn a lot of these, but it'll be nice to have them. Cooking level 40, I'm burning a decent number of these stews, but I have enough meat and potatoes to just try again. Okay, that gives us 29 stews. I will bring those back into the Stronghold of Security here. They're kind of annoying in that I have to save the bowls. I can't drop them because that's all the bowls I have. But I can only bring, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 of them at a time instead of having to fill my inventory with baked potatoes. So we'll get back to it here soon. Cataplepins, and then we're going to go down another floor and start working on the Onkos. Still working on the Cataplepins over here. Just got the top of Scepter drop. I did not get the Scepter drop from the Flesh Crawlers, so maybe next cycle. But we're 2 out of 4. These higher level ones are a lot nastier, the level 64s. I think there are only 4 of them, but they're still nasty. Finally on the 4th floor, I'm killing this super zombie I was talking about, level 159, by flinching it very slowly. Yeah, I don't think it's happening. I'm gonna have to kill this guy with magic, I think. He has a pretty low magic defense. Hopefully I have enough money to afford runes. I think I'm gonna have to use magic on a lot of enemies here. I'm gonna try the Onkos. I think they technically have less defense than the Cataplepins. I think I'm going to try to bring Crumble Undead runes. Don't think it's going to be super amazing, but since the things I have to kill are all undead, I may as well. I'm not using my Chaos runes or anything right now. I'm going to do the Air Staff and burn through my Earth rune stack since I have no other use for it at the moment. Alright, I'm going to try this with magic. Hopefully I don't die. Okay, I was able to kill it with Crumble Undead. Went pretty well. I'm going to save the rest of my Crumble Undead casts for future cycles. I'm going to try to kill these shades. In any case, here comes Magic 50. Yeah, I killed one shade. It used about 100 mind runes, so... And it dropped nothing. So there's no record. I guess the record is me hitting record there. There's only 4 of them, thankfully, so... After this, things get a little bit more tolerable, but I'm gonna have to go buy more runes for sure. These shade robes are a best in slot for me for anything involving prayer for a while, unless if I unlock the monastery and get the monk robes. So it'd be nice to get 2 of them. It's just a 1 in 4 drop. So in theory, I should get a full set from a single clear. Anything? Oh, it's 2 with no drop. Uh-oh. Well, there's a shade robe on the 3rd one. Maybe we'll get the top. No, it's strictly better than my priest gown, although I think it looks identical. Yeah, I think they look the same. Too bad. And a bummer, I got another shade robe instead of a top. I'll probably end up killing them again on a future cycle, even if I end up clearing this this sub-chunk. I'm going to try really hard to clear this sub-chunk because I don't want to have to do... I'm going to want to kill like the Onkos and the skeletons and stuff in the future when my gear is better, but right now the higher level Cataplepins I'm probably going to skip. I'll do all of the war floor and all of the famine floor. That's both reasonable and the drops are good, but once I start to get here, I have to spend so many resources and too many death warps to get things to die. Well, unfortunately, RuneLight just crashed. Means I lost my XP tracker, and I lost the enemies that I had tagged. Fortunately, I've only really killed like 2 Onko on this floor, other than the big zombie and the big shades, so Not a huge loss, but still kind of a bummer. Just hit cooking 41. I'm making more stews to bring back to the Stronghold of Security. This has taken me 6 hours and 15 minutes, by the way, so it's really important that I clear the whole Stronghold so I don't have to do this again. This is really slow going. I've died so many times. I get maybe 2 kills if I get lucky, even with bringing 5 stews with me. I've killed 7 skeletons, 3 onkos. I've accidentally killed a couple ghosts because they'll aggro me and I'll get enough hits on them that I want to finish them off. Mark this guy. It's one of the ones I lost when Rune crashed. I'm gonna stick with it though. I really would like to complete this so I don't have to do it on future chunks. So I'm gonna keep at it here. I might have to try to depend more on safe spots than I have been. About to get a strength level here. If I can land a hit. There it is, strength 55. It's got a 2 law rune drop from Unko, so that's nice. This is really slow. I get maybe 2 kills, and it takes me about 3 minutes to get back. We're at 7 hours just for Stronghold of Security here. I'm gonna try to spend all of my money on buying runes to see if I can safe spot these, just so I can stay there a little bit longer, but I don't even know if there's a particularly good safe spot. I might have to, like, wait out the aggression timer in order to make it possible, which is probably better than what I'm dealing with right now. I just spent all of my money buying runes, 9 air rune packs, 900 mind runes. Adding it to the spreadsheet. All right, so I came here and I waited out the aggression timer. So I'm just going to try to kill everything I can in this room that doesn't run away from this safe spot. Got a 6 noted mithril ore drop. That's potentially pretty exciting. I don't think I'm going to be mining mithril ore for a long time, so maybe the only chance of me getting it is from these onkos. I want to get 18 or 14 of those so that I can use it at the Giant's Foundry when I get smithing to 50. Having to jump around to find new and interesting safe spots here. About to hit 52 hit points. That's what we're here to announce. Also, I got a skull left half and some more mithril ore. So it's pretty good. I'm trying to do as many of these skeletons as I can before I look for another Onko room. Just hit 51 magic while running for my life trying to fix this safe spot. It's really annoying to try to safe spot here. There's like one good safe spot in all of this floor, and it's up in that corner over there. So it's going to be tough to get all the other Onkos. I'm going to do my best. It works a lot better when I let the aggression timer run out, but then I have to wait 10 minutes in each little section of the dungeon. I'm going to go ahead and start running the aggression timer plugin to make it easier. Yeah, because they're still aggressive on me now that Onko's attacking me. Oh my god, I'm on my last Onko kill over here, and this guy right here, and I got the, as an Iron Man, you might not get kill credit for this monster. I'm going to hop and try to see if I can track him down. I might just kill one of the other 86s in the room. Oh my god, I'm still working on that one Onko, and I keep having to hop back and forth. I guess I could just wait for the aggression timer to run out, and it's probably just going to happen because it's taking me so long to hop without getting hit by a ghost. But it's like one Onko. I just want to try to finish it off here. It only has like 10 hit points left. And I died. Son of a bitch. Just face tanking him here. This is getting so frustrating. I just want to be done with Onkos this cycle. Oh, please don't let him kill me before I finish him off. My defense is so bad. God, I'm gonna die before I kill him. Okay, finally dead. That's 32 Onkos. I got them all. Now we gotta finish up skeletons, and these are bad skeletons. I didn't realize this. Like, not only are they much higher level than other skeletons, they only drop bones, so it's not even really worth it. 13 more skeletons, and then I gotta do all the ghosts, and probably gonna do them last, because I'm gonna go back and do the regular spiders and giant spiders on the previous floor. I just got to keep my eyes on the prize. If I can make it to the end of this, I never have to do this again. I can mark this chunk complete. We're at 8.5 hours, which is usually how long it takes to do an entire cycle just to kill all these enemies. So think I may have been a fool for putting this as my gold star chunk to roll. I didn't realize how high level the enemies are down here. There's a particularly nasty group of level 85 skeletons over here. I'm just waiting for the aggression timer right now. The level 85, there's not a lot of place to hide. Your best bet, I think, is to go in there, pull them, hit them a couple times with magic, and then hide behind the door. I might end up having to come back to kill a couple of these with melee because I'm almost out of runes. I had to teleport out due to running out of runes there. Just finished off my 23rd skeleton, so I'm going to have to kill the last 3 with melee. But I'm telling you about this lamp I just got from a genie a couple minutes ago. Let's go ahead and use it on agility. 30 agility XP. 24 to go. I guess that means if I get one more random event, I'll get to level 4. We'll see how much I get from the Lumbered Swamp Cave. Yeah, I gotta change out equipment and finish off the skeletons with melee here. The ghosts are going to be a huge pain. Like I said, I'm going to do them last. I'm going to have to melee them, I think. I get like 1 or 2 kills per trip. It's really bad. I have to say it is really interesting that this mode means I have to conserve my bowls, because I only have 29 empty bowls that I've been carefully picking up every cycle. And so every time I run out of stews, I just have to dynamically make more stews. And that's probably going to be the way that it works for a while. Ugh, died fighting one of the last skeletons here. Need one more. Okay, I just killed my 26th skeleton. These level 85 ones are really nasty. Can finally mark that task done. So now we have 31 ghosts. Actually, I think only 29 ghosts because I've killed 2 of them. 45 giant spiders and 35 regular spiders. I'm going to pop back over to the pestilence floor, and I'm just working on the regular spiders just so I can chill out for a second. Yeah, so there's a nice little room over here that only has baby spiders, so I'll just be chilling here for a second. I don't think they can hit me that hard. They're level 24. Alright, baby spiders in this room are done. I took a surprising amount of damage, but this should be a little bit more tolerable than it was with Onkos before. We'll see how the big spiders do. There's a lot of them. Slowly work my way through the spiders over here. It occurred to me that I can bring a ton of stews to this because they don't drop anything. So I don't need to worry about inventory space. These are all the ones I had left over in my bank. I've just been refilling my bowls with stew every time I run out. I'll do the same thing for the ghosts. The ghosts I'm really worried about. 31 level 77 ghosts, and I can kill maybe 1 or 2 per trip. It's not going to be fun. Okay, as you can see from the timer down here, it took me about 20 minutes to kill all the little spiders in this room. I basically had to wait for... Oh my god, mime show again, kill me. I basically had to wait for NPC aggression to expire. Otherwise, I couldn't even target the baby spiders at all. I still have a couple more rooms of spiders to work on before I can move on to ghosts. I guess this makes sense, but accepting random event teleports apparently breaks your NPC aggression timer. Okay, yeah, so I gotta kill all the spiders over in here. I think that's the last batch of them. I'll have to look around the zone, but I think that's all of them. All right, here comes cooking 42, remaking these stews. Getting decent cooking XP from making these constantly. It's really interesting to be reusing the same bowls over and over. I've never had to do that before. It looks like I'm done with the baby spiders. I have one more group of giant spiders that I've neglected. There's a room that just has giant spiders in it, so I'm going to finish those up and then we're going to move on to ghosts. Yeah, oof, here's the room with just the giant spiders. There's still a lot to go. Each of these guys has a lot of hit points. I think it's like 50 hit points per spider. Yeah, so I'm going to be here for a minute. So I had to die and walk back. If you ever look at my inventory, the number of steel axes I have while I'm in here is how many times I died. This is my last giant spider, and then we've just got ghosts, and the ghosts I expect are going to take me a minute. Here's a live split timer. We're already way over the amount of time it takes to complete an entire cycle just for killing all the enemies in the Stronghold of Security. And I guess technically the Barbarian Village, but that didn't take terribly long. Well, I just died to a single ghost, so I didn't get a chance to heal before it hit me for a couple back-to-back 8s. It is going to suck. I'm considering popping out really quick to gather ore and do the Giant's Foundry to get some money to buy some more runes so that I can try to mage them and safe spot them. But there's not that many safe spot locations for ghosts, and they all depend on me running out the aggression timer. And I'm actually very close to being out of mind runes from Aubrey. I thought it was going to last me a really long time, but I'm only allowed to buy 1,000 more mind runes. So I think I need to conserve those for things that I absolutely need to do every cycle, like the giant frogs in the Lumbered Swamp Cave, the Lesser Demon. I guess I don't have to do the Lesser Demon, but I'd really like to get that Rune Medhelm drop if possible. And all of Stronghold of Security is going to be optional once I finish this this clearing. Finish off these ghosts. I would go ahead and try to range them, but their range defense is really high, and my range stat is garbage. It's like 33. I might need to actually start switching to training ranged for killing weak enemies like goblins and cows and the like. Yeah, it's pretty slow going here. I'll try to at least get 1 kill per trip would be nice. 43 cooking. Gotta make more stews for this. Should hit 56 strength here in a second if I can land a hit. These guys are really hard to hit. There it goes. 56 strength. Slowly but surely working our way through ghosts here. Alright, lots of... This is the last ghost that I'm on right here. It's almost over. Hopefully I don't die. I'm going to try to make sure I stay on top of my health here. Okay, the one I was just fighting died. This one just aggroed me. I'm going to get out of here. It's over. We did it. It took me almost 12 hours, 11 and a half hours. Which maybe sounds insane. Like, you look at this count of enemies, you're like, that's not that many enemies. But you think about how many hit points they have, and that my max hit is like an 8, right? So let's do some math just for the ghosts, for example. Ghosts have 77 hit points-ish between the two kinds of ghosts I could fight. It's either 75 or 80, but let's call it 77. I miss about half of the time. So if I'm going to be hitting them with a max hit of 8, on average I roll a 4, but I only hit every other time, so on average I roll a 2, right? So 77 divided by 2, it takes me about 38 hits to kill them. Every 4 ticks, yeah, so it takes about 92 seconds per ghost, times 31 ghosts, divided by 60 seconds. So it's about 47 minutes just to do the ghosts, right? And then you apply that to the health totals of all these other enemies. It's slow, and that doesn't include the time to like walk all the way back when I die, or back out because I need to eat food and that kind of a thing. But fortunately, it's done. We have completed the Stronghold of Security. As you can see here, I can very happily change this indicator to a triple star to show that it's done. In future cycles, I will not be doing the entire Stronghold of Security. Instead, I will likely just do the Minotaurs. I'll do everything on the first and second floors. I'm going to try to kill all the rats, even though they're... I'm going to recategorize them from being critters because they drop bones. It should be a really good source of prayer XP since they all die in like one hit. I might dip down and kill that one special zombie and maybe kill the shades down on the bottom floor just to try to get the shade top since it's a best in slot for me for prayer. But I don't think I'm going to be touching the Onkos, the Catoblepins, anything really other than those first 2 floor enemies at least until I get Protect from Melee. But even with Protect from Melee, I think I want to get my combat stats quite a bit higher. That took a really, really, really long time, such that I think that I should probably end the episode there, because if I keep going doing the other chunks that I literally haven't touched at all, then this is going to become like a 2-hour episode. So we'll do the same thing we did with Giant's Foundry. We'll wrap there, and the next episode will start with me doing the cleanup from this chunk 22. I'll go ahead and do a quick abbreviated summary of what we've done, though, at the beginning of this chunk. To show you the loot tracker, for example, 26 skeletons with no drops, 32 Onko. The Mithril ore, I think, is the most exciting drop. pure essence as well. We got a decent amount of that from all the enemies down there. The zombies, I'm probably going to... Well, I don't know if I'm going to skip them in the future, but they are much higher level than the other zombies I have access to, and their drop table's not exciting enough to be worth the time it takes to kill them all, I think. Catablepins, fortunately, I did get a single top of scepter, so I'm not going to have to kill them again, unless if I want the noted coal, which is actually pretty good, so maybe I can argue for why I should fight them in the future. Flesh crawlers are going to be completely worth it. They drop a bunch of herbs, they drop noted iron ore, and they drop nature runes, so I will be fighting them again. I did pop out to kill the lesser demon, that's right. I should probably mark that. I don't think I marked it in the task list here. Lest I accidentally kill it again. Where's Wizard's Tower? I did that hoping that I might get lucky and get the... There it is. Get the Rune Medhelm drop. Minotaurs, also pretty worth fighting. These Bronze Full Helms count as bronze bars over at Giant's Foundry, so that's going to be quite nice. Goblins, this includes the count from Barbarian Village, so I think it's 5 in Barbarian Village. Yeah, 5 goblins plus 34 goblins in the Stronghold of Security equals 39. And then, of course, the barbarians from the beginning of the cycle. And a single imp that I killed that walked in off a chunk boundary. Supply usage I should show you. This is... Look at this. 826 baked potatoes. 340 stews, which, again, I only have 29 bowls, so every time I used up my bowls, I had to reuse them to make more stews. That burned through a lot of my food stores. Like... 826 potatoes, I've been building those up for cycles and cycles and cycles. We got access to potatoes back in cycle 4, and I've been collecting 84 of them or so every cycle since then, and now they're almost all gone. So it's really good that I don't have to do this again. I think that probably shaved a ton of time off of this whole venture. If I hadn't brought any food with me and just died and walked back, oh boy, we would have been there for like 24 hours or something. But I think that's everything that I wanted to show you. I can show you the XP gains, but again, these are kind of borked because of Runelight crashing, so they should actually be a little bit higher than this. We ended up getting a ton of cooking XP from making the stews and cooking up all of the baked potatoes and rat meat and that kind of a thing. So I'll probably reset this XP counter going into the rest of this chunk, but I'll keep the loot tracker as it is, obviously, because we have to use that to do a sanity check on the tasks here. So yeah, next episode, we're going to do the rest of this cycle, and then we'll roll a new chunk, and depending on what chunk we roll, might roll a second chunk if it's another kind of a boring, uneventful one. Thanks for watching. This has been a pretty big deal. I'm still excited about having rolled the Stronghold of Security because now I have access to whichever of these enemies I want to kill. But I greatly underestimated how much time that was going to take and how much of a hassle it was going to be. I was thinking maybe 3 or 4 hours, not nearly 12 hours. So we'll see you next time, folks. Bye.